Hey guys, what's going on? It's on October 3rd, and I'm going to be reviewing my trades today. I took about four trades, and if you watched my video yesterday, it was on revenge trading and over trading, aggressive trading, anything around that context. So I just want you to see my improvement, and hopefully you guys can learn from it if you're going through the same thing, because a lot of traders go through this. They kind of just spiral effect from one loss to another loss to another loss to another loss. And the only way to stop that is walking away from the computer, taking a rest, taking a break, and realizing you made bad decisions. And you need to, as soon as you are able to recognize that, the faster you can change and improve. So I'm just going to show you guys four of my trades that I took today, and hopefully you guys can learn off it. Yeah. So you can see here MGNA, all pre-market that there wasn't much volume. Usually pre-market doesn't have a lot of volume, but it went from 44 cents all the way up to 68 cents straight with all green candles, right? And usually pre-market it moves like that. But this breakout was so clean pre-market that it intrigued me to get in later on. And I felt like I watched a Tim Sykes video yesterday. It's like sometimes you want to get in on the pre-market move before people hear the news. The thing is, there was no news on this chart, but there was a good breakout. I wasn't sure why it was breaking out, but I could see it. I could kind of just use my experience and understand like there's something here. So I saw it consolidating, triple bounced, triple bottom bounce. So one, two, three, and then as soon as I saw that candle and that volume creep in here, at 9 o'clock, 9:02, 9:05, broke 51 cents up to 53. My entry was 53 cents on that on the next candle that pulled back. It was almost like a bull flag. Pulled back, broke out immediately on the next candle, straight up to 61 cents. One of my problems that I was having yesterday and for a long time is that I sell too fast. So I knew that this was a strong breakout, and I know how pre-market works. That if it breaks its previous high in pre-market, it always surges past it. But you do have to take in consideration that pre-market it can dip extremely fast if you're not right. So here it broke out. It continued to squeeze higher. You can just see in the candle the way it forms, and there's no there was no resistance here. It just really kept breaking higher and higher slowly. The candle was not really dipping down at all from its highs. It just kept creeping up slowly. In a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of holding this candle, I was able to make, I believe, $41. Yeah, so I was able to make $41 on that trade. It was a pretty good trade pre-market, right? So I got in 300 shares, sold 200 at 65, and I sold the rest at 100. I mean, I sold the rest 100 shares at 70 cents. And like I said yesterday, I didn't want to sell it all immediately, so I scaled out so I could get more of the move. And look at that. Throughout the entire day, it just sold off. But I captured the biggest move it had all day. And the reason why is because I got in at a high probability setup and I scaled out. I didn't sell all my position all at once, and I didn't hold it all the way to the top because I probably would have made a bad decision if I did. So yeah, I wait for 9:30. I'm like, I'm not gonna double dip this. I'm not gonna trade this today. Like I'm done for today on that. So I was just watching for a significant breakout. I wasn't trying to dip by anything. I was just waiting for a strong breakout. So I saw 130, 930. The market opens, stock breaks from 122 to 128, pulls back to 122. So it didn't really go below the opening range breakout, which gave me confidence that this does have some strength. But you do got to take in consideration this is only 5 minutes. So the 5 minute candle was basically a doji, and I saw that it was creeping to break high of day. And my anticipation was to get in over the high of day, but the anticipation, the break of the pre-market high. And I feel like that has more significance sometimes in the first 5 to 15 minutes of the trading day. So I saw it breaking high of day, and I saw it anticipating to break 136. So I ended up getting at 133, broke upwards, sold half of my position at 140, which is kind of quick because I saw that it pulled back, and I knew sometimes these early morning breakouts can be very volatile, and I just wanted to get my profits. So I was gonna hold 100 more shares, which I did, to a higher price. It ended up breaking up later on, but I wanted to um, be disciplined. I didn't want to hold past my risk level, and I said to myself, if it comes back down near my entry point, I'm gonna sell. And obviously, it didn't come down to my entry level point, but it pulled back a couple of cents, and I just wanted to take the gain. I just wanted to say, okay, I'm green on the day, I'm happy, and move on. So that's when I turned up the computer and I walked away because I started to feel like I was going to force a trade. And usually when you force a trade, you're not really thinking logically, you're not using your intuition, you're just kind of just doing it because you're bored and you want to make money. And as soon as you start thinking that you want to make money, probably you're going to end up losing money. You want to look at the setup as it is, not the way you want to perceive it. So I just turned up the computer and walked away. And I ended up trading later on because, you know what, like I took a break, my mind is clear. Now I'm not trying to force anything, but I'm trying to look for something that's good again, right? So my next trade was on PTI later on in the day. And it was a good setup, but I guess just because I wanted to be green on the day, that if it dropped to my stop, like I didn't even set like a very low stop because I didn't want any retracement back to that level. I wanted a clean breakout. I wanted to get in and I wanted to immediately have resolution to the upside, and obviously it didn't, and it retraced back to below my entry point about 10 cents. I didn't like that. So I ended up stopping out at 211, and it ended up breaking up later on, but I wasn't even near that when that happened. Like I wasn't even home at that time because this is probably like 20 minutes of candles right here. And in the meantime, when I took that small loss, it was like $15 loss, very small. Um, ended up getting back. I ended up getting to INPX. I'll tell you why I like this. This is something that I'll always take a setup on. So basically, whenever you see a chart run up early morning, spike, and then sell off all day and consolidates, and for some reason, late day, you start seeing it crawl back up to its previous highs, there's some type of change in sentiment. The bulls are overcoming the bears or something, and it starts to crawl. And I'm thinking, okay, if it breaks high of day, I'm getting it. It broke high of day. It kind of resisted a little bit. I'm assuming there was a big seller of some sort, and I set my buy at 35.6, so I knew that I would not be red immediately on the trade. So as soon as I got in, I was green and I was good. I waited probably a couple of minutes for it to fill, and then basically at 1,200 shares, right? I usually don't take that many shares because the commissions are so high, but it was very choppy crawling up. I liked the pattern, but it was very choppy, and I didn't want to take extreme risk and hold on for too long. And you can see in this candle right here, it was an extreme drop. Like nobody likes a 1 minute candle that looks like that. It doesn't look that big of a drop because it's only 3 cents, but you know, sometimes like a candle like this can turn into a huge panic drop, and I wasn't feeling that because I feel like I'm not very used to trading stocks this cheap, but I know that candle was not like it didn't look good to me. Just from my, I guess, experience, it just didn't look good to me, and it ended up doing like a bear flag and dropping even further, and that almost, it was basically below my entry, and I probably would have sold for a loss at that point, because my kids come back to my entry. Like, obviously, it probably wouldn't have been a good decision to sell when it came back to my entry, but like, look what happened. Like, that's an amazing breakout. But this is like 25 minutes of just sitting here. So I took my gains, $27 profit I made in this trade, and I left. I didn't come back. I didn't overtrade. I didn't revenge trade. I just took my gains and I walked away, and that's how it should be. Always put everything in perspective. Never try to manipulate the way you look at the chart to view it as you want to view it. View it as it is. The market doesn't owe you anything. The market will actually take everything you have and more. So the more that you can take yourself out of your own perception and look at things in reality and the way it is and what's actually happening, and look at it with a logical point of view, and you use your intuition that is built up over your experience in the market, then you'll do fine. But you need to consistently reflect on that, and sometimes you need to take a step back. And when you take that loss and you're frustrated, take a breather, take a break, and that's it. So basically, I just wanted to show you guys, I guess, my improvement from yesterday to today, up $71.58 on the day. A lot of my commissions were taken out of that, but it's still green on the day. Nonetheless, it's better than losing money, right? So if you can take green trades once a day, $50, they add up. $100, they add up. So my goal is to break this $500 point. I've been downtrending a while in my profits, and I'm finally starting to realize that most of these losses have been from revenge trading, and I've recognized that. Finally recognized that. So now, hopefully, we can start to see some good momentum in my profits, and hopefully I can keep making these videos and staying in the game. So hopefully you guys learned something. Hey, bye bye.